Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hansen. Thanks for joining me today, and thank you, Brad Helmke, for joining me. We're in Brad's office here, located in the lower level of the Vergas State Bank. And Brad, when we usually have you on, what is it? Tax season, right?
Oh, that's right. Yep,
yeah, we got our tax expert here, and I know the bank feels very fortunate that you have an office here that people can come to and get that expert advice, and I appreciate it, so thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, thanks for being a part of the Vergas Show. We got a couple of Vergas items, though, to talk about. We got fish fries going on, and it's Lent season, and so obviously people are thinking that way too, but we've got a couple fish fries coming up on March 4th. The Isleta Lutheran fundraiser for the kids that are going on the mission trip this summer. We're having a fish fry out at St. Paul's Church, and that's right after service at 11:30, goes to 1. So there's also a silent auction, so you can come out and you can have fish and you can support the youth and maybe go home with something fun. And then the Lions, they have a great fish fry also, and that's on March 9th, and they have theirs in the evening. It's Friday, March 9th, and it's at the Vergas Community Center. So if you're hungry for fish, even if you're not, and you just want to support the local things that are going on, come out and support those things that are happening, and just see some people too. The Vergas community has a lot of great people around. And you're part of that, Brad.
Yep.
And so you're going to talk to us about taxes today. So we go from exciting fish to important taxes. And so let's you have on your note here, you're talking about payroll tax cuts.
Well, I know that in my office this last year, they extended the payroll tax cut to 2012, but only for the first 2 months. And now Congress here in the last few couple weeks, has extended that for the rest of the year. So employees will get a 2% reduction of their Social Security tax, which is the same as 2011, but it's nice because the working people, the people that have W-2 income, and even the self-employed will get a 2% break on their payroll taxes. So
kind of a stimulus.
Yeah. So somebody making $50,000, that's a lot of money, but it's $1,000 for them. Somebody making $25,000, they end up with $500 more in their paycheck.
And it kind of replaces that, where a few years back, everybody got the $400 check, or the 800 couples got. And
they haven't rewarded the retirees yet, but I guess the working people are the ones. But I'm not sure what the long-term impact of that is to the Social Security system. Everybody knows that they talk about how broke it is, and it's not money. Will there be money for us when we retire?
I know, and so they're giving to us now, maybe.
Well, I guess maybe. So that's one issue.
Okay, and American Opportunity.
Yeah, that's a student, kids that are going to college. They extended that 1 more year through 2012, and so if any student going to college is paying up to $4,000 or at least $4,000, they can get a $2,500 rebate. Usually that'll go to the parents because the kids going to college don't usually have a lot of income, and so that credit, if their parents' income is low enough, or not too high, I should say, they can get a $2,500 rebate from the government to help cover the cost of education. And it's only tuition and fees. It doesn't cover room and board, but it is tuition.
Well, tuition and fees have gone up so much, and so that is a nice little thing to be looking at, and it's something nice for the parents to be looking at, because usually, like you say, the kids are covered under the parents' policies yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And then capital gains, I just wrote another note. Capital gains that got extended. If you're in the lowest tax bracket, capital gain rates for the federal is 0%, and then once you jump to the next bracket, which is $68,000, then it flats out at 15%. So the capital gain rates are really generous right now. I know that the IRS is looking at possibly raising that up and stuff in the future, but for now, and anybody selling property with capital gains, that's a good time for. It's a good time,
but then property's not moving. So is that the purpose that they probably have this
out there?
Yeah,
it's I know they need to raise revenue. They talk about the deficit and stuff, and so I'm thinking that's one area that they're going to try to hit. Just depends on who's in control and making things go and stuff.
I know that on student loans and teachers and things like that, there's some things out there.
They've extended, just a reminder that student loan interest is tax deductible, and so when you get those forms, and if you're paying on student loans, just to remember to take those deductions, and also the teachers that are going that are teaching in classroom, they can deduct up to $250 on their federal return only, not on their state return. But you know, if they buy supplies and books and things for their kids, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah, there's not a teacher out there, I think, that doesn't hit that $250 mark from any of them that I know.
Correct.
So well, that's nice to be able to have out there. What can people be doing? Okay, we're already in the tax season. You got to file your taxes by April 15th. That's just a given. But okay, we're looking forward, you know, to the end of the year. What can you be doing to prepare?
Well, just be organized. You know, most preparers are really busy, and so about the last thing they want is somebody to come in that's not prepared. And so
you mean you don't want a shoebox brought in with a bunch of receipts and say, figure it out?
I think in our office, if you show up like that, you're gonna probably just get the exit right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be prepared, and even writing, when you write your information down, you know, detail. You know, we can sort through information and say, oh, you can take this, but you can't take that. So writing down everything and saying, okay, here's my cell phone, here's my utilities, here's my real estate taxes, here's my homeowner's insurance. You know, some of that stuff may not be deductible, but at least if you have it broken down and say, you know, I have a detail, then we can go through it a lot quicker that way.
Well, exactly, and then it just helps you be able to get the most back that you can.
Right.
I mean, and then by bringing that into your office has the knowledge of what you can and cannot be taking, and so that makes a huge difference. Yep. You got down here casualty.
Well, I got two issues. These are things that I just kind of thought about here recently, and one is especially around Otter Tail County, and especially around Vergas and Perm, in that area where I work, the lakes have had high water.
Yes.
One thing for lake homeowners to ask themselves is, did they suffer a casualty loss because of the high water, whether it be their basement flooding or their riprap, their shoreline. It's something that you need to visit with your accountant or your tax preparer about, because it's not one of those issues that is easy to define. You know, what kind of loss did you sustain, you know, based upon getting water in your basement, and maybe insurance paid for it, maybe they didn't. And so, you know, they look at the value of your property before the casualty versus the value of your property after the casualty. And so that's just something for me to throw out there for people that live around the area that maybe have suffered a casualty loss. The second item is because of the things that are going on in North Dakota, oil and gas, oil revenue, you may be, if you're lucky enough to have owned mineral rights, and you're getting a check from an oil company out there, one thing to throw out there is that if you collect money from North Dakota, you need to pay tax to the state of North Dakota. So even if you're getting $500, you might owe, you know, $20 or $10 to the state of North Dakota. But so it's just something that it's kind of a hot item, because you never seen it before, but
now it's out
with
there.
the boom that's going on, you know, there's a lot of people that have mineral rights that don't own land, but they actually get an oil check. So it's just something to be aware of, that if you're getting money out of North Dakota, they might come looking for you if you don't pay tax to their state.
Yeah. Well, Brad, I appreciate you taking the time to, I know that, you know, it's really busy for you this time of year, but the things that you brought up just makes me realize that, you know, it's easy to go online and try to fuddle through the taxes yourself, but there's so much value in going to see a tax preparer that can actually help you with some of those questions and those hot items, and to be able to get you the most back that you can.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues out there. I see it time and time again where people will either try to do their own return, or go to TurboTax and do that and stuff, but you have to really know some of the things that are out there before you can even ask the question. They're user-friendly, but I don't think they cover everything, and I like to think that there's more to it than just, you know, talking about how much tax to pay, because there's planning for next year, there's things that you might do with your business, there's things that you might do to help save your taxes, whether it be to fund your retirement plan, or to set up an employee benefit plan or something like that. And so there's more to it than just the income tax. And so what we try to offer is just a rounded thing where we look at the big picture, and a lot of times you can't help, you know, the person that just, you know, has a W-2 and stuff, and you know, they're working for somebody, but maybe they got ambitions of going further and getting their own business or doing something like that, and having employees, you know, things like that. So that we try to offer, advice so that we can help them, so they don't run into problems down the road. It's, getting a letter 2 years after the fact sometimes is pretty annoying
and you're there to help them. Well, thanks so much, Brad. You're in the Vergas office on Wednesdays, and otherwise you can catch you in Perm. So have a good tax season.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you.